From Fox 5 New York, it's time for more Good Day New York. You know her as Mrs. Belfort, the former wife of Wolf of Wall Street Jordan Belfort. We're talking to psychologist Dr. Nadine Macaluso about life then and now.
Did you watch The Wolf of Wall Street? I think I watched it a few times. Margot Robbie actually played Nadine Macaluso. She is the second wife of Jordan Belfort in The Wolf of Wall Street. In real life, their tumultuous marriage caused Nadine to seek therapy and eventually divorce Jordan Belfort.
So Nadine felt therapy helped her so much that she went back to school and became a psychologist and has been helping others for 13 years now. Dr. Nadine Macaluso is joining us this morning. Nadine, great to have you with us. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Thank you for having me on. And I know my new last name is a tongue twister.
You say it.
Macaluso.
Okay, so I did say it right, eventually.
You said it right,
Okay,
yes.
Fantastic. I was reading an article where Margot Robbie was saying that she had spoken to you while she was filming it, you know, just to get a better sense of you. And she talked about what a strong woman you are. And she said any woman who could deal with his shenanigans was a powerful woman.
Oh, that's very sweet of her to say that. Yeah, I actually met with Margot so she could get my accent. Ironically, who wants this accent? But they needed it for the movie, and she was a lovely young woman.
Do you find that's still always going to be a part of your history and what you did, what you lived through?
Oh, of course. And I think that experience defines who we are in general. And fortunately or unfortunately for me, but fortunately because I'm talking to you today, my pain and trauma was made into a book and then a movie. So it allows me to help a lot of people.
Well, it's because of that pain and trauma that now you're helping all the rest of us. In fact, I think so many of us, at some point or another, we've been on that Corona coaster, I call it, where one day you're okay and the next day you're really down in the dumps.
Yes.
How are you helping some of your people get through this period?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've never seen the mental health of our country in the state that it's been due to coronavirus, which is completely appropriate. And so what I do is what I always do, is that I validate them, I listen to them, I teach them breathing exercises to stay calm, and, you know, really just work on ways that they can find a center within themselves, because the only thing we can control is ourselves, always. We can't control what's happening in the world no matter what. So get control of yourself through breath work, through learning about yourself, and then you can manage what's happening in the world. And it's been an intense year.
I know you talk about breath work. I was reading that when you got divorced from Jordan, you know, he left you destitute, you moved across the country with your kids and with no help from him, and you started meditating, and that meditating helped you as well get through that period. And I guess it's something good to do during this period as well.
Yes, and you know, the thing about breath is that it's always at our fingertips. I mean, it's free, and the research shows when you take an in-breath for 4 counts, and if you let your out-breath be longer for 6 counts, it calms your nervous system down. So I've had many of my patients tell me we do it like on the hour, every hour, and it just keeps your nervous system calm, and it works.
I've also heard where you said, talk to yourself like you're a friend, like you're your friend, right? Explain that a little.
So there's so much research out about self-compassion, and self-compassion is, I am suffering, the world is suffering. Let me talk to myself as I would a best friend. Because we're so hard on ourselves. And so that's what I encourage people to do, and it works.
I know you do a lot of work with couples, and during this time with the pandemic where no one could go outside, especially during isolation, we were in lockdown. You finally got to know this person that you were actually married to, and you found sometimes you liked them and sometimes you didn't. What are some of the warning signs that this is an unhealthy relationship I'm in?
Yeah, I mean, COVID-19 has brought so many challenges to all of us. And of course, relationships are the hardest thing to navigate, and nobody teaches us how to do that. So I think of myself as like a relationship coach, really. And so there are red flags. And the thing is that if somebody wants power or control over you, that's a problem, because you're your own person in the world and they need to love your unique differences. And so they might, once you set boundaries, which are so important for any relationship, you set a boundary, they challenge it. That's a sign. That's a red flag. Basic red flag.
Yeah. Well, doctor, I think everybody loves a good story. I mean, you went from the Duchess of Bay Ridge. I didn't even know they called you the Duchess of Bay Ridge, but I found that out last night. Little jelly, because I'm, from that area too. But I mean, you really picked yourself up by yourself with 2 young kids. And I know you said you were doing breath work and you were meditating, but I mean, you really had to have inner strength to really keep yourself and your family going at that point.
Yes, I did. Thank you for acknowledging that, and shout out to Brooklyn. And I think what happened for me, though, was that as much as I could rely on myself, I went to therapy. And therapy is what helped me, because we cannot build resilience alone. We need another person to help us build resilience. And that's why I became a therapist, because I know it saved my life. I know it saved my children's lives. And I wanted to give back to the world. And it's okay to reach out for help. We all need it.
I know. Where can people find you, by the way? Are you in the area?
Yeah, they can find me at NadineMacaluso.com or on Instagram, Dr. Nadine Macaluso. Yep, they can find me there.
You've been doing teletherapy.
Yes, so I've been doing teletherapy, and there are gifts of COVID, and I don't want to say that to dismiss any people that have suffered. And one of the gifts for me was that I could do teletherapy and be with my family. So I'm very grateful for that.
Well, it's so nice to meet you, and we're happy that things are going well for you. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you so much for having me on.
All the best.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.